Hey, yo, what's good, kids? So we're gonna be going over my Pokemon Battle Club draft. If you didn't watch the update video, I'll briefly explain the rules. Basically, there's 8 teams. It's a mixture of fantasy football and Pokemon. Once you pick a Pokemon, no one else can use it. And then you have a roster of 14, as you can see here. Little spoilers for my week one uh, team analysis there. But anyway, this is what I drafted. These are all the 14 mons. Um, yeah, and then you bring 6 each week, and you can modify your sets to beat the opponent and whatnot. Anyway, we had a 5 tier and plus mega style draft. So you draft a franchise, which you draft before the draft starts, which is kind of the Pokemon that you. I actually don't know. It's supposed to be for teams to keep Pokemon that they used the last season, but since I'm a new coach, I get to pick a Pokemon from free agency who was a free agent last year, and somehow Latias was a free agent, so I was like, yep, Latias. um, excuse me. So pick Latias. You know what Latias does. One of the best defoggers in the game. Amazing stats. Can drop Dracos. Generally really good. Can even wish. It's not the best wish passer, but it's fine. But yeah, he's even got like Tailwind too, so it's like it's got a lot of stuff going for it. It's got Trick and whatnot. So I I will make some creative movesets for this throughout the season, and I feel this Pokemon is very versatile, which is why I picked it, and it fits pretty much in every single team. So we'll go with this one. This is my first round pick. This is a Clefable, the best fairy in the draft, in my opinion. Although Magirna came out, so that might be the best fairy, but I'm not positive. Probably should have picked Magirna, but I'm an idiot, so it's fine. Um, Mainly picked this thing as a cleric. It's got decent stats. It can tank pretty well with that pretty good HP stat. But the biggest reason I drafted this thing, well, knockoff's good, meteor mash is good. It's got a lot of, even though its attack stat isn't the best, but the main reason I drafted this thing is for the stealth rock. I needed a rocker. I also need a fairy, and I need a cleric, and this thing does all that. So first overall, or first round, not first overall, but this is Scizor. Pick this thing in tier 1. I needed priority with the bullet punch. Um, bullet punch. I needed U-turn. And I need a steel type. This thing does all of that, with decent defense stats. Um, Pretty good. This is Mamo. I picked this actually second round. This is a tier 2 mon. And in my opinion, the best tier 2 mon in the tier. Yeah, the best tier 2 mon, period. This thing has, in my opinion, one of the best typings in the game. This thing's stats, they're a little subpar, but that attack stat and then that speed stat, also that really good HP stat, decent speed stat, so able to be scarfed. Um, but it's got not too many moves, but uh, against teams that aren't really weak against it, I'm gonna probably be using it as a suicide stealth rock lead, so it can clear up Clefable a little bit, and either use it as like a straight up wall or a cleric or toxic stall or even just attacking sets. But um, Mamoswine here can really do it all and is super super hard to prep against. So that's why I picked it. I'll go through the megas now. Get him out of the way. This is Mega Blastoise. I drafted this guy because at the time I didn't have a bulky water. I also need a Rapid Spinner, and I already drafted all of my tier 3s. So normal Blastoise is gone, so might as well go for Mega Blastoise. Really good stats, but kind of underclass Mega. but it's still good at what it does. Rapid spinning, tanking, and just dishing out pretty good damage. And then this is my Gallade, Mega Gallade. This thing is best for setting up Swords Dance and then sweeping teams. Uh, Lopunny was gone, Mega Lopunny was gone, so had to go with Mega Gallade. They do different things. Mega Gallade's typing is definitely better, but the thing that's kind of unique with Gallade is it's got pretty good defensive stats. So theoretically, if I wanted to wall with this thing, I could. Okay, so that's the first one. All right, the second one here. I've got Entei, really my only fire type that I drafted, but tier 3, there's too much stuff in tier 3 to pick Arcanine, so I had to pick Entei. Better stats than Arcanine, but moveset isn't as good. However, it does have one move that Arcanine doesn't. That's really important, and that is Sacred Fire. Really good move. This thing has extreme speed. This thing, I don't know, it can do stuff. I plan to use, a couple creative sets with it, here and there, but generally this is gonna be my standard fire type with, pretty good stats, and especially the HP stats, really good. This is my Galvantula. I picked this thing up out of all the fast electric types, which is kind of standard. You kind of need fast electric types, but this thing isn't too fast, so a little worried about that. However, the main reason I picked the thing up is for the Sticky Web. Sticky Web, one of the most unique entry hazard in the game, and super good synergy with Mamo here, since he's got subpar speed. Could use a little boost, and that Sticky Web really helps him. So, but the other big reason I picked this thing over Jolteon was Compound Eyes. So this thing only has 97 special attack. However, you're going to be using Thunder, since its accuracy is increased by a lot. I think it's like 91 or 92% to hit, which is if it's higher than Stone Edge, then you're pretty much good. So Thunder does pretty much as much as a Jolteon Thunderbolt. So Galvantula is pretty good. And bug typing is good against those psychic types and dark and blah blah blah. Anyway, so here's Tangrowth. I needed another physical defensive mon, I needed another special attacker, and I needed a grass type. This thing is there, does all those well. Recently put an OU, so kind of weird that's tier 3, but it's also kind of not because it doesn't have the best moveset. But the things it does well, it does really well. So it even has like Earthquake, and this thing can be run mixed, since 100 attack is still pretty good. Only 10 off from special attack. So this thing is a really good mixed attacker and physical wall. So originally I had Crocodile here, but I'm an idiot, and I drafted 3 ground types, and I needed another bulky water since I didn't want to rely on a crucial type as only a Mega. I felt like I would bring Blastoise way too often, so here's Vaporeon. I feel like I needed to take some of the Cleric pressure off of Clefable here, and I honestly think that Vaporeon's just a better Cleric than Vaporeon, just because of that really good HP stat. This thing, is a Water type. Water types are really good defensive typing. Only has 2 weaknesses, so... But, yeah, really the main thing is this thing is a Cleric with that Wish, and then the Heal Bell right there. So, that's really all I'm going to use it for, but it's another bulky water, it's a Cleric. I might run just full wall and full self-sustain, like no heal bell, just wish, protect, and then 2 attack. I don't know. I'll see what I can do with Vaporeon. It's in tier 3 because it can't do too much. It's really predictable, but fits my team well and takes some of the pressure off of my other mons. So, also, as I mentioned, Galvantula can Volt Switch, but that's obvious. Here's Ambipom. I needed a fast U-turner. This thing was the best fast U-turner in Tier 4. Also, best fake outer in Tier 4. One of my favorite Tier 4 mons, if not my favorite Tier 4 mon. Has a really weird moveset, and I really like it. This thing can do like a lot of weird stuff. Um, so, and even has like acrobatics and aerial ace. So if I want to put like a, is normal gem in Tier 7? I don't know. I forget. Whatever. Put like a normal gem in on this thing. Fake out, and then that acrobatics boost. Also, it's got technician, which is an amazing ability. Skill-Link kind of sucks since it only has like 2 multi-hitting moves. So, rip Skill-Link. Anyway, here's Koffagrigus. Obviously going to be running that max attack every time, but if you do that, my best tank, I think it's my best tank. It's a ghost type, which is rare. Ghost types aren't normally this bulky, which I really like. So it's a really good spin blocker since they can't knock you out, and they can't spin on you. So it's generally really good. It's got a pretty respectable special attack too, so it's got as much as Clefable. And it's a ghost type. And I needed a ghost type and a spin blocker and more walls, so Koffagrigus was a good choice, in my opinion. Anyway, here's Rhyperior. I needed kind of a meme Pokemon. I didn't know what else to choose from Tier 4. I kind of had what I wanted. This is my very last pick. I was like, what do I do with this Mon? Let's see. Looked him up, and then looked at his moveset. I'm like, wow, look at this thing. This thing has like more than half the types in the game covered. Plus really good attack, HP, and defense stats. So I feel like I've Latias and Vaporeon for the special walls, and then like a bunch of physical walls. So I feel like this guy fits my team well because it just brings a level of unpredictability. Also another stealth rocker, which I feel like if I couldn't run stealth rocks on Clefable for some reason, if I couldn't run stealth rocks on Mammoth for some reason, I needed a third one since those two are very versatile, and I didn't want to, lock them up with stealth rocks. So stealth rocks and its stupid moveset is the reason why I picked up Rhyperior. So here's Xatu. Really, really cool mon. Mainly picked it for this magic bounce ability. However, I also needed flying stab. I also needed another special attacker. And it's got like screens, I think. It's got, you can get like Giga Drain too, which is, pretty cool. But yeah, I also need another U-turner. Also Tailwind. This thing does a lot. Also Wish. So another Wish passer. That's 4. Yeah, 4. This thing can do a lot of things. Mainly picked it for the magic bounce, but pretty versatile. I like it a lot. And then my last mon that I'll be covering is Muck here. Picked it for that poison typing, and it's, in my opinion, the best poison type in Tier 5. Weezing's another one, but I prefer this guy's stats more than Weezing's ability. Also, Gunk Shot. It's got like Thunder Punch and Taunt, blah, 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 blah. Anyway. So yeah, this thing's pretty good. If I have any real trouble with like a really good fairy or, really good grass type, one of those, if this thing, wrecks a team, I'll bring it. It's just another option, which I like. So, yeah, that's the team. So yeah, let's see. The week 1 team analysis will be coming up next. Stay tuned for that, and stay tuned for the battle tomorrow. So see you guys next time, and yeah, peace, kids.